Race didn't enter the factor. Gender didn't enter the factor. Socioeconomic. It was just a young man who, unfortunately, the world had the opportunity to see go into cardiac arrest. And we as a nation banded together to send our hopes and prayers to him and his family, to wish him well and to help him get back stable and comfort. That felt good because oftentimes I look on the news, I see the opposite end of that. I see hate toward the individuals who look like me. So as we continue to pay tribute to our kids and the work that they have done, we want to focus on that compassion area right there, that humanity area right there. And so if there's any elected officials, I walked around to see if I seen any. If there's any elected officials, please stand so I can recognize you and we can recognize you. Senator, hello, stand up so they can see you. Kate Parks, school board. Very important work that the school board does and will continue to do as we continue in Dubuque, Iowa. Also, Senator Yoakum, she was here, but she left because there's another event going on today as well. The city of Dubuque is working with Black Heritage, looking up the foundation and the heritage of African Americans here in Dubuque, Iowa. So there's a lot of things that are going on in Dubuque, Iowa in regards to multicultural facets. So as this event concludes, I think that event is going on from 1 to 5. Tomorrow morning, our annual MLK breakfast is going on at the Grand River Center. Please come out. Good people, good discussions, good work. Restrooms, to the right, go down to the hall, to the left, pick up the signs. And so now I'll invite Maria Lobianco to come up. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us today. To get us started, we just have a short convocation to welcome you all here. For today, we have a poem by Leonard Nimoy. It is You and I in Discovery. Let's begin to try, to do, to build, to breathe, to live. With patience, with care, with an open mind, let us join the ages. The tides flow, the sun rises and sets, the seasons come and go. The moon and the stars light the night way for each of us. What we plant today will root and grow for each of us. Let us plant a seed, love and protect it, feed and warm it. Surely a tree will rise to take its place in the sun. Let us plant today the seed which will be the tree of us. Thank you all for joining us.
Now we're going to sing Lift Every Voice and Sing. If you will take out your hymnals, it is number 519, and Carmela Sellers, who's the education chair for Dubuque Branch NAACP and a music teacher, is going to lead us in singing. So everyone, please stand.
519 in the hymnal. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark path has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won.
Good afternoon. I am Donna Lowen, and with RRS, we are going to co-facilitate the handing out and the recognition of those participants who are being honored and receiving honorable mention. I think we have most of those on tables here. Hopefully some of you had a chance to take a look at them. And RRS, are you going to come forward? Are you ready? There's a lot of pieces to this today because there's taping going on and there's just an awful lot to coordinate, and because she's a member of this parish, she's done a lot of it.
Yeah, so I've been running back and forth. So we're going to have the students come up to recognize you. We're going to give you certificates. We have your work up here, so as we recognize you, we'd like you to hold your work. You can take your certificate with you today, but then put your work back on the table because it's going to be displayed at Carnegie Stout Public Library for the next 2.5 weeks until the first weekend in November, the start of Black History Month. February, sorry, I don't know why I said November. Lost track of my months. Yeah, so last year was the first year the library let us do that display. And so for the second year, we're going to be displaying work at the library so people will get a chance to view the work, not just at the ceremony, but anyone can go to the library and look at the student work afterwards. So unlike maybe in previous years where you could take the work after the event, please leave it here. However, if you are from the schools where the work is not that of a student that's being one of our honorees or honorable mentions, after the ceremony, please see me or Carmela, our education chair, because if you're the principal or the teacher from one of the schools that submitted work, we would love you to take your work back with you today so you can give it to your students along with their certificates of participation in school on Tuesday.
So we're just going to alternate. I'm going to start with the first grade honoree. And the way it will work, students, if you would step up and come up this aisle over here, and you'll have assistance from Carmela to find your work, hold it in hand, and then come up here. And I know that Anthony wants to shake your hand and speak to you, and I do as well, or RRS if it's her turn. And I would just say about this that I don't have the numbers of participants this year. Do we remember? Okay, more than 250 students in grades K through 12 throughout our city participated. That's really awesome, isn't it? Yeah. And obviously, all of you that are here many of you that are here have a connection to someone who participated and is being honored. And it's really great that you'll have additional time to invite family, friends, neighbors, coworkers, whatever, to get to the public library in the next 2 weeks to not only view the work of the student you're connected with, but all the rest as well. On a personal note, I'm a retired teacher and principal from the schools, continuing to work with youth in my current work through the Community Foundation. And I always look at this as an opportunity for adults to learn from youth. Obviously, it took encouragement on the part of some adults, teachers, principals, parents, and others to encourage students to participate, then they did the work. They did the research. They investigated the individual or individuals or group or organization that they chose according to the topics that were outlined. So the students are our teachers today, and let's see what we can learn from them in the course of their sharing today. Our first grade honoree is from Bryant Elementary School. Would Ben Leach please come forward? Should be able to just pop it off? All right. Ben, you're going to be famous. Isn't this great? I wonder if you would talk into the microphone and just tell people out there what you made and what it means.
I made a mobile.
You made a mobile. That's all these items hanging down from the string. Can you identify the items that are hanging down from the string? Hold it up and touch each one. Tell us what they are.
This one, a quads of each color of skin.
Okay. You don't have to tell all of them, but you can pick some to tell. What else do you want to tell?
I made a heart.
And what does that represent? What does that mean to you? He said he made a heart. And what does the heart mean? It beats within your chest, doesn't it? What does a heart usually mean? When we draw hearts, what does that mean?
Love.
It means love. You got it. All right. And so you made your mobile, and when you did this, what do you hope people will understand about love and skin color? What can you teach us?
To be kind to other people.
That says it all. Thank you, Ben, and congratulations. Wow, it's all uphill. It's all great. All right. RRS, do you want to go with the second grade? I'll just be over here to help.
All right, thank you. All right, so we're going to do our second grade honorable mention first. So we'll start with Shay Jones from Prescott. So you can see her work up on the screen. We also have it on the table. I scanned everything in to make it easier to see. So do we have Shay here? All right, it does not look like we have Shay, so we will get her work to her school afterwards. I think we probably have Henry, because I think we have his mom. So Henry, you want to come up? Henry Park Schmidt. His work is up on the screen.
And hold your work, so maybe you want to show
Yeah, you want to kind of
people can see it.
hold it in front of you like that. And you want to say a little bit about what you did?
I made a coloring sheet of Martin Luther King Jr. And
Could you read your sentences?
I made a sheet, and it's about how I can make the world a better place. It says, I can make the world a better place by using less electrical energy and plant more trees.
All right, did everyone hear that, or you need me to repeat it? All right. All right. So I'm going to take this back because we're going to display it at the library, but Carmela will give you your certificate. And so everyone's getting a certificate from us, but as well, Pam Yoakum, who's our state senator for Dubuque, got everyone a legislative certificate from the state of Iowa legislature, and they're also getting an envelope which has a monetary reward in it as well. All right, so now we're going to our second grade honoree, which is Leah Say from Prescott. Do we have Leah here? Yes? No? Yeah, you can come up. Yes, it looks like we have the principal from Prescott to accept on her behalf. Yeah. Do you want to say anything? No. All right. So the principal is declining, but she is going to accept on behalf of her students. So thank you. And then after the event, we will give you the rest of the Prescott entries as well. All right.
And before Dr. Nugent gets back, we want to recognize her because she was previously the principal, quite a bit the same, at Fulton Elementary. And we all know that Fulton was closed and she was named principal at Prescott. Fulton was a very high-level participant for many, many years under Chris's leadership. And this year, Prescott followed suit. So, Chris, how do you lead with the Martin Luther King tribute at your school?
We use it as an educational opportunity for kids to get to learn a little bit more about Martin Luther King and his message and integrate it into our day. We think that that's very important for all students and especially for Prescott to be involved in this opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You bet. We value her leadership in this regard. And we move now to the third grade, and first we have the honorable mentions. Both of these students are from Bryant Elementary School. The first is Carter Collins. Would you come on up, Carter? All right, he's real close by. He sat up front.
The adults get it.
And Carter, wow, you are in third grade, and can you tell, can you hold that so everyone can see it? And what does the label on that read?
All Lives Matter.
Tell us about your project, how you made it, and what it means. You want to hold the mic?
Sure.
That'd be great.
I made it out of clay and then I painted it all different skin colors by the fingers. And
What should people understand about this?
that it's not about what you look like or who you are, it's just about your personality.
That sounds like something really important that Martin Luther King taught us. Congratulations. Excellent. Our next honorable mention in third grade, also from Bryant, Zoe Leach. Okay. Hi, Zoe. How are you? All right, she has. Okay. She prefers not to speak, but she's going to hold that up so everyone can see it. Can you hold it up a little bit higher? Yeah, and be really proud of. There you go. And she wrote about Amanda Gorman. Does that name ring a bell with anyone who maybe watched an inauguration ceremony? She's known for being the first ever National Youth Poet Laureate. And she notes in her writing that Martin Luther King Jr. would be very proud of Amanda's work. And we're very proud of your work. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Zoe. Good job. students by her model, you notice that it's okay to pass if if you're anxious about speaking in front of the group, and we'll do our best to help represent your work. But I bet most of you would be darn happy to have this microphone in your hand and say what's on your mind. Let's go to the third grade honorees. Again, both students are from Bryant Elementary School. The first is Evie or Evie? Evie. All right, Evie Davis. Hi, come on over. Is that of such a length that you could kind of walk through and share it? Can you hold the microphone and do that, or do you need me to hold the microphone? You good?
I can do it.
She can do it all.
I made a graphic novel about Ruby Bridges. It's called Bridges is Brave. Ruby went to an all-white school in New Orleans, Louisiana. Nobody wanted their kid to go to school with a black person. People hated her. Guards had to guard Ruby to keep her safe. She was scared, but she did it anyway. She worked very hard in school, and she got good grades. Ruby's boldness lets other kids go to whatever school they and their family want.
Well done. Whoop, don't forget Mr. Allen. Clara Fry is the other third grade honoree from Bryant School. Hi, Clara. I like how you marched up here with such purpose and a big smile on your face. This is an important moment, isn't it? What would you like to say about what you've done?
I made a book about Maya Angelou out of cardboard, and I wrote about her like it was a book. And I wrote my own poem.
Oh, we must hear your poem. We must hear it.
If I don't have my rights, I will struggle in my fight. Give equal freedom to all, let equality take no falls. Help our world be a better place, no matter your religion, country, or race.
She might be a future Amanda Gorman type. Thank you. Fourth grade. Oh, she's got it. Thank you, RS.
So our fourth grade honoree is Amira Williams from Prescott. Do we have Amira here? All right. Hi. So she made a small poster about Ruby Bridges. Do you want to read from it, or? Yes, okay.
Ruby Bridges was a little girl who went to... Okay. Ruby Bridges was a little girl who went to kindergarten. She was the only African American girl at an all-white school. The moms and dads did not want her to go there. The protest and called her names. At the time, she was 6 years old. At first, her dad was skeptical, and her mom convinced Ruby's dad to let her go.
All right. Thank you. Well done. Thank you. All right. And then we'll go back to Donna for fifth grade.
Fifth grade, we'll begin with the honorable mentions. There are two, a solo and a duo. Connor Stoll is the first. Connor is from Irving Elementary School. Here comes Connor. Yeah, Connor, do you want to get behind that and hold that up for all to see? They're also seeing it on the screen. Here, you step right out front. And are you comfortable telling us a little bit about your research, what you found out? Go for it. Here, I'll hold that while you talk.
I did a poster on Charles Hamilton Houston. His life work was to make sure that all races could go to school and have no segregation in school.
Fantastic. What should people understand about what your message is?
that all races can go to any schools they want.
Why is it good to have students of different colors learning together in the same school?
Because so then they can do different things besides just the same things that certain people only can do.
Okay, thank you for your insights. We appreciate it. Yes, and you did a great, I'm going to keep this, and she is going to give you. Thank you, Connor. Such an accomplished speaker for someone in 5th grade. The duo that also receive an honorable mention of Elise Swartz and Ada Milligan. They are also from Irving Elementary School. And appears there in absentia. Is there any other teacher or principal from Irving? If not, we'll make sure that this gets delivered there. And if you know either of these young people, or take a look when you get to the library at their work, but congratulate them. We have an honoree at the 5th grade level, and it is Joanna McCready from Prescott Elementary School. Hi, Joanna. Is it Joanna or Joanna? Joanna, all right. Let's get you right out in front of this so that that's not in the way. Could you hold that out so others can see it? And you could either read a section of it or just talk about it.
I'll read about her early life.
Thank you.
May had a brother and a sister. She was the youngest of 3. May moved to Chicago, Illinois from Alabama at the age of 3. May went to college to become a doctor in 1977. After college, she helped sick and hungry people in Africa and Asia.
Do you want to conclude with something?
I'll read about how she shaped our past and future. May was one of the many women who helped fight against racism and fought for equality. She helped shape our future, too. When she broke down a barrier with her going into space, she inspired so many kids then and now.
Just as you inspire many people. Thank you so much, Joanna. 6th grade, coming next.
Now, before we go into 6th grade, we're actually going to take a break and watch a video, and I'm going to give the microphone to Carmela Sellers to introduce it and go back to help Paul get the video up.
I have lots of hats, sorry. So the video you're going to watch is the Dubuque Chorale Children's Choirs. I was asked to teach them a song for this event, and hopefully we can be in person after this year, but we decided to sing We Shall Overcome. So the Dubuque Chorale Children's Choirs has just split into 2, so you'll see 2 different colors of t-shirts. The blue that you'll see are the younger kids, the 3rd graders. They are in the Staccati choir, and the purple are the Legati choir. And there's some person playing the guitar that you won't be able to see, and someone playing piano, which is not me. Okay, are you ready? Yeah.
Apparently going back and forth between many multiple multimedia tasks, we are not able to get the video off the one computer onto the other computer and up onto the screen, so sorry. Paul and RS have put their heads together. Now they've got audio, they're trying to get the video, they're trying to pull it all together for us yet. So I guess let's give them a minute of grace and see if we can pull it together. Yes, talk amongst yourselves. The subject is justice.
Get the audio to load, but not the video, so it's going to be audio only. So as she mentioned at the beginning, Carmela Sellers is the director of the Dubuque Chorale Children's Choir, which sang We Shall Overcome for you. And I'm also going to give you the history of Lift Every Voice and Sing, which we sang together at the beginning before we go into talking about the second half of our program, the secondary schools. So Lift Every Voice and Sing was publicly performed first as a poem as part of a celebration of Abraham Lincoln's birthday on February 12, 1900, by 500 school children at the segregated Stanton School in Jackson, Florida. Its principal, James Weldon Johnson, wrote the words to introduce its honored guest, Booker T. Washington. The poem was set to music soon after by Johnson's brother John. In 1919, the National Association of the Advancement of Colored People dubbed it the Negro National Anthem for its power in voicing the cry for liberation and affirmation for African American people. And because of the history of between African Americans and the Methodist Church is why it appears in the Methodist hymnal. All right, so as we're going on into secondary, we are going to start recognizing the 6th grade honorable mentions. And we're going to start with Alex Colander, who built this model of a threshing machine, I believe. So Alex, are you here to explain your model to us? And his school is Roosevelt. All right, it doesn't look like we have Alex, so we're going to move on to our 6th grade honorees. Our first honoree is Charlie Parr. Do we have Charlie? All right, it looks like we have someone walking down the aisle. All right, so you want to tell us about your poster, Charlie? Sure. All right, so can we go forward or back a slide? There we go. So
I did a timeline of Maggie Lena Walker, and I wrote about how she died and about the events that she went through as an African American lady and how she became very successful in life.
So, are there any particular details you want to pull out? Okay, all right, I can help you a little bit. So Maggie Walker was one of the first successful African-American businesswomen in the United States, for those of you who don't know her history. And in her poster, it looks like Charlie goes through the timeline of how she helped found a bank and some of the other important events in Maggie's life. Do you want to highlight one of them, maybe? No? Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. We'll give you your certificate now. All right. All right, so now we're going to move on to Sawyer Bartlett from Roosevelt, who wrote an essay about the civil rights movement. Do we have Sawyer here? All right. All right, Sawyer, you want to pick out maybe a paragraph or two from your essay to read? No? All right, so here, maybe I can help you or find something to highlight for you. All right, so it's basically an overview of the civil rights movement from 1953 to 1955. So we'll start maybe with chapter 9 when you're talking about Emmett Till. Do you want to read it or do you want me to read it for you? Okay, I'll read it for you. All right, so it says that Emmett was a kid who is not a poet or an inventor, nothing more than a kid. Now let's talk about him in more detail. He was a 14-year-old African-American boy visiting his family in Mississippi in 1955. He was killed after being accused of offending a white woman. Later they found the killer, and the court found the killer not guilty. All right, so thank you for writing your essay and sharing some history with us. We're going to hold on to it and give you your certificate. So go shake hands with Anthony. All right.
All right, we move to 7th grade, and we'll start with those with honorable mentions. The first is a student from Washington Middle School, Lily Bettner. Here's Lily. Hi, Lily. Let's see what you got there. Oh. Well, you know what? Do you need to have it facing you to talk about it? No, that's awesome. Why don't I hold it while you tell us what you'd like us to take away from this? What did you learn?
That Katherine Johnson helped with with NASA, and she helped get away.
Go ahead, you can read from it if you like.
She was a human computer, and she helped get the Soviet satellite. Yeah.
Why did you choose her? Are you a math whiz as well, like she was, or a computer whiz?
No.
No. Why did you choose this woman? Had you seen the movie?
Yeah.
How did that impact you, really?
I just thought she was really cool, and I thought like when my teacher, Miss Lobianco, told us that we had to choose someone like her, and I thought she was the first person who came to my mind. So yeah.
Tell us about the design, because this is very unique.
That's her silhouette.
And you placed on it.
I put my information inside her silhouette.
Exceedingly well done. Lily, thanks for talking about it, and congratulations on being an honorable mention. We have a duo of honorable mentions in Madeline Gallagher and Nora Urban from Washington Middle School. Here they come. Awesome. Okay, who's who?
I'm Madeline.
Madeline and
I'm Nora.
Nora. Do you have an idea of how you want to present this, so that you can both talk? Take turns, whatever. You step right up front and take it away.
Kind of just like an overview of what she did. She was a Black African-American person who started her own hair business.
Be sure you speak so the last row can hear you, okay?
So she hired like thousands of people who they were discriminated against everywhere else because they were Black, and gave them a job. She was the first African-American millionaire too. She sounded very influential, and like she made a big impact on history.
Great rationale. And how did you collaborate? Who did what parts, or how did you partner together on this project?
I mostly researched and you wrote. Yeah.
That is collaboration. Very smart. Thank you. Great job. Be sure to speak. And we now have a trio of Foster Del Toro, Lucas Smith, and Tristan Hyatt from Washington Middle School, who also are receiving honorable mention. We might have a 2 out of 3 here, it looks like.
I'm just going to make a technical note while they're coming up. They did a PowerPoint, but because we're streaming this and showing a PowerPoint at the same time, it's too hard to switch into another PowerPoint. So we only have the first slide of the PowerPoint up, so they'll just have to talk without going into their PowerPoint.
I can tell by these two gentlemen's presence that they're going to be able to handle whatever we throw at you, right? So it's up there. Who would like to speak first? And you are?
Lucas.
And you are?
Tristan.
All right. Go ahead, Lucas, if you want to allude to the... We might need to get you a little closer here. We're running out
Me, Foster, and Tristan talked about Louis Armstrong. We talked about Louis Armstrong because we thought he was very influential in like the jazz community, and we thought it was going to be really cool to write about. He was actually the reason he got into jazz was because on New Year's Eve he wanted to make some noise, so he shot off a pistol, and he went to juvenile hall, and then that's where he learned to play the trumpet.
What else would you add? Any other points of interest? Things you can recall?
I don't even remember.
It's hard to remember. How did the three of you collaborate? Because 3 people to do this project did what? How did you partner together? Can you address that? Can you look out to the group? Pretend I'm not here.
Well,
Tristan.
Well, we all did the research. And all of us picked one slide to work on, and we shared it with our laptops.
Nice.
Collaborative. Thank you, gentlemen. Wonderful. I've got back on track here. And we have one additional honorable mention for Adriana Smith, also from Washington Middle School. Yay, she's here. Hi, Adriana, welcome. All right. They're having a view of it up there, and I'll just invite you to take the microphone and tell us what we need to know about your work and what you learned. Okay. I can hold that if you like.
So, the list of people that I could choose from was like...
Put that microphone closer, like you're soft-spoken. Go ahead.
The list of people I could choose from was limited. So I chose somebody that wasn't on the list, and they're alive today, and their name is Abel Hayford. They worked at lots of animation companies like Pixar and Netflix and all that stuff, and they're just
box. Yes. Thank you so much. We appreciate your artistry. I just thought I was going to say this when the two of the trio were up here about Louis Armstrong. I listen sometimes to a program on the radio. Gordon Kilgore? Not Gordon Kilgore. Someone needs to help me out here. Where he talks. He's deceased, but he has a program where he talks about things in Dubuque history. It's called On the Riverfront or On the Riverboat or something like that. Who knows what I'm talking about? Oh, you're missing something great. Anyway, listening into it one day and within the last month or so, said that Louis Armstrong is been celebrated by the Dubuque, Mississippi River Museum because in his, probably after he ended his period of incarceration, he did, and while still a teen maybe, he played his horn, he honed his craft on playing on the riverboats, including some that passed through Dubuque. So if you're at that museum, look it up. And handing off now to RRS to do the 7th grade honorees, because this is a pretty large group. We decided to split it in half.
Yeah, and thank you to Maria Lobianco, the teacher who read earlier, because she is who gets all of her students to participate from Washington every year. All right, so now we're going to our first honoree, who is Braden Butler. He did a PowerPoint on Nelson Mandela. You see the first slide of it up on the screen. And Braden, do you want to come up? All right, so do you want to tell us a little bit about what you remember from doing your PowerPoint?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Braden Butler. I did a PowerPoint presentation on Nelson Mandela. Hold it right in front. He fought for equality in South Africa, where it was a group of white people who would not allow people of darker skin color to have power. And so he fought with both peaceful and armed protests. And he fought for equality, and he became the president of South Africa. And he made an organization that's still around today called the Nelson Mandela Foundation.
All right. Thank you. So get your certificate from Carmela and then shake Anthony's hand. All right, our next honoree from Washington 7th grade is Rowan Fry. Who did a poster on Thurgood Marshall. So it's a fold-out poster. So here it is, folded together, and then you want to open it up. And then it's also up on the screen in its unfolded form. So you want to tell us a little bit about Thurgood Marshall?
Sure. All right. I did Thurgood Marshall. He was the first ever African-American person on the Supreme Court. Some things he did in his life was he was in the Brown v. Board of Education trial when he was a lawyer, and that was where they tried to desegregate schools and make it so black people could also be in the schools. In the court, he tried making sure all people were free, no matter the race or religion and all that stuff.
Thank you very much. All right, our next honoree for 7th grade from Washington is Blake Meyer, who did a PowerPoint on Abraham Lincoln Harris. Do we have Blake here? All right, Blake, can you tell us some of what you remember about Abraham Lincoln Harris? Oh, great, you came prepared.
That Abraham Lincoln Harris was one of the leaders of Black economics. He helped produce a study of African American labor history. He is also a lot like Martin Luther King Jr. And also one of my favorite slides I did was the first one. And that's basically it.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Wait, get your certificate from Carmela, and then shake hands with Anthony.
Thank you.
All right, thanks very much, Blake. All right, our next honorees from 7th grade Washington are Jeremiah Muriel, Jack Davidshofer, and Blake Pergond, who did a poster together. So do we have any of those three here? We have at least one of them, two of them. All right, so first of all, tell us which two you are, and then it looks like you did your poster on Nelson Mandela. So introduce yourselves, and then you can tell us why you chose Nelson Mandela and what you learned.
Bet. My name Jeremiah Muriel. His name David. We chose Nelson Mandela because we didn't want to choose nobody, so the teacher did it for us. And he did the research, I did the poster. Yeah, that's really it. And
what should we know about Nelson?
He did the research, I did the poster.
You want to let him talk a second?
I got you. Matter of fact, I got it. Nelson Mandela, he was in an African tribe. He was born July 18th. And then, yeah. Yeah, he went to jail for 27 years. They don't know why he went to jail.
He went to jail for protesting apartheid in South Africa, which is basically like segregation in the U.S., but they were implementing segregation in South Africa at the same time we were starting to get rid of segregation in the United States. So apartheid went into effect in South Africa in the 1940s at the same time the civil rights movement was starting in the U.S. All right, thank you very much. You want to have something to add?
Okay. I'm not done. I want to thank my mama, my cousin, my other cousin, my big sister, my little brother. Yeah, I see you, gang up.
All right, so get your certificates and shake hands with Anthony. All right, our next honoree from 7th grade Washington is Aiden Sancy. Do we have Aiden here? All right. So Aiden also did a PowerPoint on Nelson Mandela. Seems like a popular choice. So can you add something about Mr. Nelson Mandela we haven't learned yet today?
If not, you can summarize. Well, he liked to do peaceful protests, so he did a lot of like sit-down protests, and also when who was it? I forgot. He was forced to get married, so him and I think it was his cousin or brother ran away, and he started going to school, but then he got kicked out for doing peaceful protests.
All right, thank you very much, Aiden. Shake hands with Anthony. All right, so our last honoree from 7th grade Washington is a duo of Stella Walsh and Emma Daly, who did a poem on Shirley Chisholm. All right, so Carmela has your poster if you want to grab it. And then tell us what you learned about Shirley Chisholm.
So Shirley Chisholm was the first African American woman in Congress. She
was a positive female leader and role model.
She was born in Brooklyn, New York, and was the daughter of immigrants.
All right, thank you very much. You can get your certificates from Carmela and then shake Anthony's hand.
We have a 10th grade honoree, Sanvi Ram from Hempstead High School. Someone I know. Hi, Sanvi. Do you have, no. All right, Sanvi, what can you tell us about what you wrote a poem? We absolutely want you to read it and make sure everyone can hear you. Thanks, Sanvi.
Okay. Hi, guys. So first off, I would like to say thank you to the NAACP for the opportunity to participate in this contest every year. It is something that I always look forward to, so thank you. I wrote a poem about May Carroll Jemison. It's titled A Star in Space. I'll read it now. One difference changed lives. One choice led countless others to success. One brave soul bent rules, turned heads, and landed herself in space. What seemed so far away was incredibly close, but what seemed so close took forever to reach. Through her years, May Carol Jemison knew her goal. Through her tears, she persevered in a way so difficult. The claws of double discrimination did not reach her. The pain behind the first female Black astronaut did not reach her. She had a goal to inspire others, to make being Black something to be proud of. And after that, nothing could stop her. Her eyes were left in the stars, so she ventured amongst them.
Thank you, Sanvi. Needless to say, Sanvi is an accomplished poet, and I loved that you spoke to double discrimination. Thank you for that little insight. Congratulations, Sanvi. 12th grade, or 11th grade.
Our 11th grade honorable mention is Abby Herold, who is in the Dubuque Online School. Do we have Abby here? All right, it doesn't look like we do, so we're going to move on to our 11th grade honoree, who is Jalen Koenig from the Alta Vista campus. Do we have Jalen? All right, doesn't look like we have Jalen, so we're going to move on to 12th grade. Our first 12th grade honorable mention is, skip that slide. Next slide, please, Paul, is Clara Gephardt from the Alta Vista campus. There we go. Clara Gephardt from the Alta Vista campus. Do we have Clara? She did a essay on Frederick Douglass. It doesn't look like we have Clara. So our next honorable mention is also from the Alta Vista campus. That's Auna Ryan, who did a poster on Dr. Dorsey Lavinia Brown. Do we have Auna? All right, we'll go on to our 12th grade honoree. That was Morgan Simon, who did a YouTube. Paul, is it possible to copy that link so we can watch the video? If we can advance to the next slide so we can end the thing. So advance to the next slide. So we'll say our thank you to all the students who submitted work. They came from Alta Vista campus, Bryant, Hempstead, Irving, Jefferson, Mazzucchelli, Prescott, Roosevelt, Sageville, and Washington. We received 257 entries this year. That's the number of entries, but because we had, as you saw, some students who submitted together, so some entries were 2 or 3 students together, we actually had probably around 287 students take part all together. All right. So we're going to end this PowerPoint and just take a brief minute to see if we can get Morgan Simon's YouTube video up. And if we can, we'll watch it. If not, we'll go to our closing with Anthony. And before I go back, can we have a round of applause for Paul Clark, who has been doing our tech? He does the tech here for the church, and he's also been working through our PowerPoint.
And I just want to add, again, a word of encouragement that there were a number of students that, for one reason or another, weren't able to be here today. I hope it whets your appetite to get to the library and to take an up-close and personal look at all of the work that these students worked in partnership and in solo and under direction by their teachers to accomplish so much learning that wouldn't otherwise have come their way or our way, but through this tribute. Thanks.
I don't think we was able to get the video going. As you can see, a lot of work is behind the scenes. And I would like to thank the committee members. So I brought me a cheat sheet as well. So any students out there didn't believe that we needed these type of items to help us out, you do. So the committee members and entry reviewers behind the scenes were Dr. Donna Lowen, Ernestine Moss, Judy Schmidt, Carmela Sellers, R.S. Stewart, Terry Stewart, Sue Wilson, Sue McTaggart, Tara Nelson Velez, and Cindy Verta. So we would like to thank those individuals. And so I won't get in trouble Tuesday, Jessica Steve was a part of the process as well. Usually at this time, I have a long speech, but it comes to me that sometimes people don't know the mission of the NAACP and why we do the things that we do. The NAACP Dubuque branch began in 1989, and it's been going strong. Thought of in 88 and began in 89. It's been going strong since. The national NAACP, thought about in 1907, began its travels in 1909. And it was built out of, made out of because there were race riots going on in the United States. And so we as a branch in Dubuque, Iowa, we continue to work hand in hand and collaborate with other committees, with the city council, with the Dubuque County, with the state. And the way the branch and the national operates is that we are a branch and we're located with the state conference. Our state conference is Iowa, Nebraska. Iowa, Nebraska is in Region 7. So that's what we work toward in regards to making sure things happen. I like to always tell people, we are a watchdog agency, but we do bite. That's very important. Watchdog, but we do bite. I would rather be proactive in what we do than reactive. Hate never sleeps, never. So we shall not pause either. And that's sometimes hard, especially when we're doing research and finding out the atrocities that have happened in our world. Our kids are researching and doing an excellent job of getting this information, but that information is harsh, very harsh. So as we continue to work toward the tribute and honoring African Americans of the past, we want to also focus on the positive without the negative being there of African Americans as well as cities. The Black Heritage event is going on at the Dubuque Museum right now. If you have an opportunity, please stop down, but it'll be going, continuing, I think, for the next 2 to 3 weeks. The local branch, we meet the second Wednesday of the month at the Multicultural Family Center, 5:30 p.m. We also do a hybrid. So if you want to get on our list so we can send you the connecting for the hybrid, feel free to talk with one of us before you leave. We meet in regards to talking about our game changers. Our game changers is very important for us. So, like I said, I brought my cheat sheet. And education is one of our game changers. This is what we ask the students this tribute to focus on. Find someone within the education realm that believes and focus on things that MLK worked toward. And in education, we want free, high quality, equitably funded public pre-K and K-12 education, followed by diverse opportunities for accessible, affordable, vocational, or university education. That's a lot to swallow. But basically, we want equity in education. As white America learns, all other Americans should learn as well. And it should be balanced out in an equitable fashion. Oftentimes, I know you probably see the little skit that has what does equity and what does equality mean. You see 4 young people trying to look into the baseball game. And then the next slide shows that we put added boxes or crates so everybody can see inside the baseball game. My question is, why not just buy them tickets and let them be inside the game with the other folks instead of trying to make it equitable so they can see inside the game? That's what we focus on in regards to education. Economic sustainability. Equal opportunity to achieve economic success, sustainability, and financial security. What that means is, did everyone know that in Dubuque, 90% of African Americans rent? 90% of other Americans own. Foundation, generational poverty, generational wealth. So we work toward that as well. Black businesses. Black businesses are not open just for black folks to go visit, it's for everybody to visit. That's how we sustain, that's how we keep it going. That's how we honor those who live in our community. Health, equal access to affordable, high-quality health care and racially disparate health outcomes will end. Everyone deserves a right to good health. Voting rights, very key. Voting rights and political representation. Political representation speaks to itself, needs to be diverse representation. But voting, people fought for the right to vote. I can't force you to vote, but I need you to register to vote. I tell African Americans I need them to register to vote because when you register to vote, those individuals who are running, they have to come and speak to you about issues that concern you. If you're not registered, why do I need to come and talk to you? Because that person's not going to get your vote either because you're not registered. So registration and mobility. We have elders, we have people with disabilities who can't get to the voting sites, who can't, make sure that their vote is counted. That's mobility. And then public safety along with criminal justice reform. I don't need to speak to that issue because you probably was just as upset about the things that have been happening in the last 10 years in regards to law enforcement and African American males. So those are the game changers of the NAACP. That's what we focus on. That's what we work toward. We invite all. I would love to see you all at a meeting. I would love to see you all as members. We make change. Like I said, we watch, we bark, and we bite. With that being said, thank you all for coming. I'm going to invite Ernest up to close us out. We have the video. Okay, looks like we have a video. So being president, I have to be a little bit flexible, as you can see. So without further ado, the video, and then I'll invite Ernest Jackson up to close us out. But I want to send a special thank you to our tributes and our honorees, because I know it's hard doing research on things that we ask you to do research on. One of the things we did in the past was focus on hidden figures. Hidden figures are always amongst us. And so it's up to us to identify it. So thank you all, and we'll look at the video, and then Ernest.
In case you were wondering, Morgan is watching the video stream from home. Morgan did not record a voice over the video. It's basically a video of Morgan's PowerPoint presentation.
At this time, I'll invite Ernest Jackson to close us out. But I did want to read one quote from MLK that I read to the participants of our march. Like I said, hate never sleeps. And when it comes to humanity, MLK spoke to Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
Let us close with prayer. Oh God, we thank you for this time in our country where we can celebrate and commemorate the good works of Dr. King and many others that contributed to social justice, to equity, and to the civil rights improvements in this country. Lord, we pray and we thank the Dubuque chapter of the NAACP and their work to build programs like this and annually build this awards ceremony and presentation. Lord, we thank the principals at our schools that are engaging young people into this learning process and this education that will help build them throughout their future. We pray for the parents, those that are here that inspired their children to engage and to learn and to participate in this activity, Lord. And finally, we thank the young people. It's so impressive to hear their words and to see their drawings and their pictures and just the touching of their hearts about trying to make just this world a little bit better for everybody around them. And Lord, we pray for peace in our country and around the world, Lord. So we just thank you. And may we all say amen. 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 Thanks.